Do you know the Muffin Man that live on Drury Lane? You do. Why ain't you called the police? Why ain't you called the police? Why you ain't told nobody the exact address so we can get this man locked up under the jail? Now, friends, my issue with the nursery rhymes is they be telling stories about how folks need to be in jail and don't nobody go lock them up. That be my biggest issue. Because, houseway, do you know the Muffin Man that live on Drury Lane? Now, this is one that we all sung as kids, and I be thinking to myself, do y'all know what it's really about? Or what they tell me? Because I don't know if it's true, but I'm just going to tell you what they had told me. It won't me because I won't there, but allegedly, this is about a slash-slinging hasher that was slash-slinging hashing the kids. Yes, friends. I know y'all feel like, oh, I heard that before. But I'm about to tell y'all some more stuff that y'all probably ain't never heard. Now, back in like 1598, they say about 1589 to 1598, there was a baker who lived on Drury Lane in London. And London blokes, he lived there. He baked. And apparently, they say he is the first known serial, y'all get what I'm trying to say? I know I'm country. Serial unaliver in London. But not just any serial unaliver. So he lived on Drury Lane and he was a baker. So y'all know back in the day, probably with your mamas or your grandmamas or your granddaddies or your great-grandmamas, granddaddies, however old they are. It used to be a milkman that came around and dropped milk off on the front porch. You use the milk, you drink it up, you make your cake, you eat your cereal, all of that. And you put the bottle back on the front porch. He pick it up, the empty ones, and then he, bring back the new ones. The baker was the same way. So back in the day, the baker would come around and leave muffins on the front porch, like English muffins, not like blueberries, scones, none of that. Like just, the nooks and crannies, the boring ones. Because everything back then was kind of boring a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, they ain't start getting crazy and outrageous with the sugar until nowadays. That's why everybody be having diabetes and everything else, because we just started getting crazy with the sugar. And they actually started in Europe. They was eating it by the spoonful. But never mind. Let me go back. Because we could talk about that. They was going crazy, child. That was, if you was rich, you had sugar, baby, they was eating it. Spoonful. Gulp, didn't even know it would tearing their teeth up, their health up, and everything. But the baker used to come by and leave muffins on the front porch. So this particular baker that lived on Drury Lane would leave the muffins on the front porch, but they say that he would tie muffins to a string and pull it down the street. Now, friends, don't act like y'all ain't had no candy necklace that y'all was eating the candy off of. So kids chasing down a muffin on the street really ain't all that strange. Because what else they were going to do? They were about to go home and plug in their PS5 and get to work on GTA. They ain't had no, not electricity, but they ain't had no, they didn't have no electricity neither. Did they? No, they ain't had nothing to do. So chasing the muffin down the street on the string was not really that bad of an idea. So he would tie the muffin to the string, pull it down the street, and the kids would chase it. But when they chased it, he would chase them on some Freddy Krueger, Jeepers Creepers, Jason type stuff. Jason ain't never chased no kids. I can't even say him, but Freddy Krueger was definitely chasing the kids, the teenagers. But he would chase them. And not only would he unalive them, but apparently they say allegedly he was torturing them as well. Meat people, butchers and bakers and all, they got all kinds of scalpels and knives. And, even the doctors. Y'all ever seen Dr. Giggles? Let me get back on track. But he was doing this to the kids. That's what they say. And they would teach the kids the nursery rhymes to alert them, to keep them aware of what was going on around them. So they, if you forget, like, I got to tell you something, girl, but you don't forget no song stuck in your head. Remember that? That's why the devil is the angel of music. But listen to me, friends. Let me stay on track. You ain't going to forget no song stuck in your head. So they would sing, do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man that live on Drury Lane? So you telling you his occupation, telling you where he stay at, stay away from around there. And the kids will be like, yes, I know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Y'all know what I'm saying? So they get stuck in their heads, and the kids know if they run up on a man and say, I'm the Muffin Man from Drury Lane, you better go the other way or you ain't coming back out of there. So that is what they said he did. But also, because during that time, it was so difficult for a baker to survive, he was taking out the competition. So if there were other bakers that lived on Drury Lane, baby, they weren't going to be working much longer because he was going to make sure they was out of there. Now, according to history, they say his name was Frederick. Frederick Linwood Thomas, something like that. But Snopes love to say stuff ain't real and it ain't nobody can find any record. It's 1598. What they gonna do? Run a social security number? Ain't like he had a social security number. They could just clickety clack 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 type up in the computer system who lived on Drury Lane. This is mostly gonna be word of mouth. Can you imagine how many undocumented people existed that we have no recollection or memory of because they was around during the time where everybody won't tracking your every 2 steps? Okay, so I believe the Muffin Man lived over there because they just making up no song for. Why else they singing the song? We don't need to know where the Muffin Man live at. It was probably a Muffin Man on every corner baking bread for the people. Why was the one that lived on Drury Lane so important? So apparently he was slinging, hashing the kids and the competition over there. And actually Drury Lane exists in London today. There's a pub, which I never knew that pub meant public house, but the more you know. There's a pub called the White Hart Pub. And it is on Drury Lane in London. And it is one of the oldest licensed restaurants in that area. That's been around for quite some time. I think they dated it back to like, I want to say 1222. I might have read that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, friends. But just in case I'm right, y'all heard it here first, likely, if you clicked on this video. But I take issue with us still continuing to sing nursery rhymes about songs we have no idea about. I mean, and there are so many more, friends. There are so many more songs that people were singing about things that were so dark and malicious and just malevolent that you would think to yourself, I can't believe my mama and daddy had me singing this song. That we were singing it in the school. We were running around in circles. We were doing all kinds of stuff. And the whole time we were singing about something dark and mysterious. But word on the curve, friends, is that yes, during that time, they did make up songs to keep the children aware of what was going on around town because they couldn't just flip on the news, turn on TikTok, get on YouTube, flap open a newspaper. It wasn't like that. It was mostly word of mouth, and people remember word of mouth very well by singing a song. It's catchy. You remember it be stuck in your head, especially if you low on magnesium, baby. If you low on magnesium, you going to have the same song stuck in your head all the time. You're going to be thinking you got ADHD, and the whole time, all you need is a little magnesium. But I'm not no doctor, so don't go out there and take no magnesium and say that it's more graham crackers told you to do it, because I did not. But look it up. Read up on it, friends. Read up on it. So I'm going to ask you again, do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man that live on Drury Lane? And if y'all knew who he was, y'all should have had the police down there. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. He should have been locked up in a slammer underneath it. Anyway, friends, that's my cute, quick little story time on nursery rhymes and my issues with them. And if y'all want to see more videos like that, please drop down in the comment section below and let me know, baby. And I'm going to do more and more and more because we are friends and we talk about anything over here. Well, friends, if you like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I feel like I just messed that part up. And I really hope I ain't got y'all up in too much of a tease, and I'm going to call y'all back later on. Bye, friends.